seems as though some major PlayStation 4 reveals are going to be happening very soon. The Last of Us 2 is reported to get its release date reveal this week, as well as a brand new Dead Stranding trailer should be coming relatively soon as well. In fact, with Dead Stranding, it's pretty much confirmed. The Last of Us Part 2, that's still a little bit of a rumor, but it looks like that's coming as well. It looks like Ubisoft is also going to be implementing something brand new, as the Ubisoft Pass Premium has briefly appeared on its official store. Could it be something of a liking to EA Access? Whatever the case may be, could be something to keep your eyes on. Also, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night will be dropping very soon. It's coming in June. However, this is going to be a game with a lot of content coming after its release. And I want to go over some of that content that will be coming post that game's launch. It will be dropping at a $40 price point, so that's pretty steep. It is going to have some paid content as well, so that might turn some people off, but we'll talk all about that. Also, it looks like the Dragon Quest series is getting a brand new announcement coming on June 10th, and that's probably going to come at Square Enix's presentation as a part of E3. We know that the Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be a big part of that presentation. The Avengers has been rumored, but Dragon Quest also being there, that could be pretty major. We'll talk that at the end of this video, but first up, it looks like The Last of Us Part 2 is going to get some new information very soon, as a Spanish website and Game Reactor is saying that The Last of Us Part 2 is getting a brand new trailer and a release date later this week. They have cited sources closer to Sony, and adding a little bit more credibility to this rumor, a fellow Spanish site is also reporting the same thing, and they are also citing sources close to Sony. Now, a lot of you guys have been kind of concerned on whether or not The Last of Us Part 2 will be released this year. All indications have been that the game will be released this year. I know some of you guys have been a little skeptical given that it's almost June already and we still don't have a release date, but I think that will be coming this week, and I imagine that the game will be released in October or November. Bear in mind that Sony usually every fall season and holiday season, they usually have that one big game that they release during that period. Last year, of course, they had Marvel Spider-Man. This year, they don't really have anything confirmed. Yes, there are games like Dreams, there are games like Concrete Genie, but those are lesser tier exclusives that really aren't going to resonate with the mainstream audience. I think Dreams can definitely get there in time, however, not from the get-go. The Last of Us Part 2, on the other hand, yes, that is a massive exclusive, and gamers would be all over that, and that would be really the highlight for the PlayStation 4 for this fall season. Yes, there are a lot of big multi-platform titles, but that is only going to get you so far. You need that big exclusive kind of crescendoing the whole thing, and The Last of Us Part 2 would definitely act as that game. I know some of you guys are also looking forward to Death Stranding and Ghost of Tsushima, the former of which we'll talk about in a little bit, but I highly doubt that either of those games are going to come to the PlayStation 4 this year. And in the case with all of those three aforementioned games, I do imagine that they will have PlayStation 5 remasters at some point as well, but that's something we'll talk about next year. Do expect The Last of Us Part 2 to get a brand new gameplay trailer this week, and hopefully we get a release date as well. With Sony being completely absent from E3, it makes sense to do the announcement this week and not during that E3 time, because it's just going to get lost in the shuffle with a lot of other stuff. I mean, is it going to really get lost in the shuffle? It is The Last of Us Part 2 after all, but nonetheless, you guys get the idea, so hopefully we finally get some clarity on what's going on with The Last of Us Part 2. Hopefully we get that October and November release date, and everybody can calm down, and everybody can relax knowing that we can play this game this year. Even so, I see so many of you guys talking about how crazy backlogs you have, so for some of you guys, you probably don't even care, but nonetheless, rumor is the release date reveal will be coming this week. We'll keep you guys posted. Also, over on Kojima Productions' official Twitter account, they tweeted out the countdown of Death Stranding has started. May 29th, create the rope. They attach a little image, and that's all we have to work with. It looks like something Death Stranding related is going to drop May 29th. I imagine it's going to be a brand new trailer, but I offer you this. It is time that we get some clarity on this game. I talked about clarity on The Last of Us Part 2. Death Stranding has got that game beat. I know a lot of you guys are still incredibly captivated by Death Stranding on the basis that it's a Kojima title, on the basis that the trailers we've seen thus far are rather interesting, but what do we actually know about this game? Barely anything. What do we know about this game from a mechanic standpoint? How is this game gonna play? What really is the story? I get that Kojima wants to do this intricate storytelling and present his games in a unique way. At some point, we actually need to know what the hell we're getting excited for, and in the case of Death Stranding, honestly, my excitement for the game has dissipated and lessened the more and more I see of the game, and it seems like a lot of you guys are in that same boat, and I know there's a portion of you that's gonna defend Kojima until the end of time, and I'm sure the game's gonna turn out really well. It's just time. Let's hear some concrete information about the game. Let's get a release window. When is this game actually going to come out? Is it going to be a 2019 game? Years ago, we had heard that this game might be a 2019 title, but at this point, I'm a little skeptical on that. I imagine that it'll be an early 2020 game, or even could it transition to a PlayStation 5 title? That's all speculation on my part, but I want to hear some concrete information about Death Stranding, because could you imagine that come May 29th, we get yet another another trailer that doesn't really give us much information to work with, just another trailer where people are gonna go on social media, Reddit, and all of these different forums, and they're gonna dissect every little part of that trailer. I am honestly done with that. We've had that for a couple of years now. Now it's time to get actual information to get people really excited for the game, because yes, that hardcore audience is gonna love to dissect every little tidbit of information that the Death Stranding trailer has, but what about the more mainstream audience? What about the audience that just wants to see how this game plays like? What's the story that Kojima's trying to tell? All of those elements, we need some clarity on that, and hopefully the release for Death Stranding isn't all too far off either. I know Kojima is striving for perfection, but if he is going for perfection and this game is a long ways away, don't even show me any more information. We've just been getting all of these trailers. At this point, I think the majority of you guys agree with me. We need a release date. We need some concrete information. We want to see how this game is actually going to play, and all of those elements need to come together on May 29th. I hope that is going to be the case. Alright, so expect information on The Last of Us Part 2 as well as Death Stranding this week. I kind of came across a little bit negative with both games, but I just want a release date for The Last of Us Part 2, and I want some concrete information on Death Stranding. Even if we don't get a release date, show us some of this gameplay and fluid motion, show us what we're exactly going to be doing. That would get me really excited. And again, let me say, I imagine that Death Stranding is going to be an incredible game. It's just that at this point, based on how the game's been promoted, honestly, my excitement has dwindled a little bit. Alright, moving on from that, Ubisoft Pass Premium has briefly appeared on the official Ubisoft store. Now, what could Ubisoft Pass Premium be? It's under a subscription service, so chances are this is something similar to EA Access. It seems like EA has been making a ton of money off EA Access, and it does look like Ubisoft wants to create their own market in where they can sell games and get people invested. That's why they have Uplay. And that's why a lot of Ubisoft games aren't released on Steam anymore. Yes, that's an Epic Games Store exclusivity agreement, but nobody's buying Ubisoft games on the Epic Store. They're just going directly to Uplay. And now they're creating that infrastructure of getting people invested into Uplay, and with a brand new subscription service, I imagine that it would be something similar to EA Access in that it would offer you access into a vault lineup of games. Now, EA Access on PC also offers a premium subscription service that's $15 a month, and that gets you access into all the newly released games. Now, if you were opening the floodgates to all of the newly released Ubisoft games at, say, $15 a month, personally, to me, that would be a lot more enticing than EA Access Premier. I am a lot more invested into the Ubisoft experiences at this point than I am to the EA experiences. If you're telling me I'm getting The Division 2, maybe Watch Dogs 3, if they're doing a new Rayman, new Splinter Cell, whatever the case may be, all of these games that they're definitely going to be announcing at E3, there's going to be a lot of big announcements come their big press conference. Well, that's going to get me very excited, and then that'll get me even more excited for Ubisoft Pass Premium. But it could very well be, say, a $5 a month subscription service that just gives you access to a lot of backlog Ubisoft titles, like all of the older Assassin's Creed, maybe the older Watch Dogs games. If that's the case, sure, that's a cool incentive, but that's not something that would get me really, really excited, even if it was a great value purchase. Whatever the case may be, as we hear more, I'll keep you guys posted, and I imagine that this is going to be one of their announcements come E3. Alright, next up, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is dropping on June 18th. However, outside of the base game, there's a lot of additional content that's coming to the game, and it all begins on launch day with the addition of speedrun and boss rush modes, as well as the pure Miriam outfits. All of these will be completely free for you to download, so that's great. Further freebies will be added at a later date, and this includes boss revenge mode, a roguelike mode, classic mode, chaos mode, 2 additional playable characters, co-op, and versus play. The 2 multiplayer modes that I mentioned will be playable both locally and online, so they're adding a ton of content to the game after its launch. However, there will also be paid content, and that'll be $9.99, and that'll be Iga's backpack, and that'll be available from the day of release. So having DLC for a game like this on the day of release, that's a little bit of a bummer, given that the game is priced quite high at $40 right away. And if you want that additional content, essentially you're going to be paying $50, but nonetheless, the game does look rather compelling, and they're adding a lot of free content as well. One could make the argument that that's standard free content, but whatever the case may be, it does look like it's content plentiful, so I'm not going to complain all too much. Let's just hope that it turns out well on June 18th and this isn't another mighty number 9. I really don't think it's gonna be. Based on the footage I've seen thus far, it is shaping up quite nicely, but we'll know for sure come the end of next month. Alright, and lastly, it looks like some sort of Dragon Quest series announcement is coming on June 10th, likely at Square Enix's E3 presentation. The Weekly Shonen Jump issue has Square Enix teasing news regarding the Dragon Quest series, and they specifically teased an announcement coming on June 10th. Now, what could this be? I highly doubt that it's a Dragon Quest 12. That's probably years away. Could be a remaster of an older title. If they're looking to remake a game like Dragon Quest 8, I think that would be rather exciting. They are porting Dragon Quest 11 to the Nintendo Switch, so it might just be more information on that. Whatever the case may be, if we get more Dragon Quest information coupled with what we're going to see on the Final Fantasy VII remake, maybe Babylon's Fall, maybe the Avengers project, I think Square Enix is shaping up a really solid E3 presentation come June 10th, and I think they might have one of the sleeper presentations. I know everyone's looking for it on Microsoft, Ubisoft, and the named publishers. However, Square Enix might end up having a great show. We'll find out come June 10th. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, it looks like we're gonna be getting some major Last of Us Part 2 as well as Dead Stranding information very soon. Dead Stranding's confirmed for May 29th. The Last of Us 2, it was just noted that it's gonna happen sometime this week. Ubisoft Pass Premium looks to be coming, a brand new subscription service from Ubisoft. That could be rather good. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is gonna have a lot of additional content. That'll drop June 18th, and some sort of Dragon Quest announcement is being teased for Square Enix's E3 presentation. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.